tonight stars on the John Larroquette Show, which can be seen right here on good old NBC. Folks, please welcome back to our show, Shy McBride. All right, Shy, explain the flags exactly. What is happening
here? Let me tell you something, man.
Why the flags?
I've been in New Zealand for a month. And, you know, I'm doing a movie with Michael J. Fox called The Frighteners, and we're shooting it in New Zealand. And let me tell you something, bro. You stay in a foreign country for a month and you can't leave, make you horny for America. Seriously, bro. I'm telling you, man.
What a nice sentiment.
Hey, look.
You know?
Hey. Look, I'm telling you, I'm like ready to pay extra taxes, all that, because I'm telling you, it's look, man,
You're horny for America.
Absolutely, man. I'm ready to, you know, I'm horny for America, man. Shoot, ain't y'all? All right then. Yeah, man.
Well, what is it? I mean, New Zealand. I have never been to New Zealand, but what is wrong with New Zealand?
Well, it's not that there's anything wrong with it. I mean, it's like any place else, man. I mean, you know, you go over there and it's all beautiful and picturesque and all of that, but man, after like 3 or 4 days, you're like, get me out of here! You know, because you wanted some crime and some mayhem and all the other things that make this country great. You know what I mean?
I can see that.
Yeah, man.
Sure.
You know, I mean, and
it makes perfect sense.
Well, it's the people are very, very different. You know what I mean? And like when you're in this country and you run into people who are not originally from America and they have American accents, that seems to be cool.
Yeah.
But it's a bug out when you're like I was cooking Chinese, you know, because I was trying to lose some weight. So I go in the place and there's a wok, you know, I'm looking for a wok.
You're like what, in a store, a supermarket?
Yeah, in a supermarket, you know, looking for a wok, and they're all rusted out. And there's this Chinese guy standing next to the woks, and they're all rusted. And I'm like, hey, man, don't you all have, are these the only woks you have? And he just nodded. I said, well, man, these are all rusted. I can't, you know. I was all distressed. I'm like, what am I going to do now? And he says, well, Mike, you don't have to have a wok to cook Chinese. I cook Chinese all the time. Hell, I am Chinese. You know, that scared the hell out of me, man. Ran out the store.
So that's, everybody talks that way over there.
Everybody talks, you know, like, you know, the New Zealand accent. You know, there's lots of fun things about New Zealand. You know, no 24-hour LJ coverage, you know, and, you know, but the TV is so bad, you know, it's awful. I would come home, and I was rushing home every day to see Hogan's Heroes.
I understand that. I love Hogan's Heroes.
Yeah, I love it too, but not every day. You know, I've seen every episode 2 or 3 times. You know what it's like having to rush home just to see somebody go, oh, Conan Hogan, you know, shut that clink. You know, I mean, I've been listening to that all.
What are you talking about? I'm horny for Hogan's Heroes. I love that show. That's a terrific show.
This is just like a.
I'm sorry. What an odd expression. I don't know why I used that expression.
I guess what I miss most, too, you know, is like, you know, the scandal. You know, I left out of here and the OJ thing was going on.
You missed all that?
Yeah, I missed all that. You know, there's none of that going on in New Zealand, you know, and then you come back and now I find out this thing about Hugh Grant. Y'all hear about that thing?
Oh, this is a big story today. Hugh Grant was
Yeah, they, like,
arrested.
caught him on Sunset in his car, like, with a hoe. You know, I mean, hey, that's the way, look, she's a prostitute. If she fill out a W-2 form, what do I do? I'm a hoe. So, you know, hey, Hugh, baby. Hey, I'm like you. You know, he's this big, how did this happen? You know what I mean? Like,
you announced it a little differently than Ted Koppel did.
Well, probably
Ted Koppel didn't use the word hoe.
Hugh Grant was caught with a hoe on Sunset Boulevard. No, but I mean, it's like, you're a movie star. And I mean, you don't look like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I don't know if Heidi Fleiss is still working, but Hugh, baby, make the call. You know what I mean? You know, I mean,
this is good advice.
Yeah, I mean, that's just my advice to the man. Just, you know, make the call, bro. You know.
Sure. You're there for him. That's the important thing.
I just want him to know that you don't have to be in your car. You know, I got 2 words in your... Add these 2 words to your vocabulary, Hugh. Hotel room. Just, you know, remember that next time you want to do something like that.
You're a very helpful guy.
Yeah,
that's what we like about you.
I try to help out whenever I can.
It's very nice of you. Now, you've been on the show. This is your 3rd time on the show.
Yes.
Every time you're here, you are pumped with energy.
Pumped.
You are just insane. You're handing out things. Last time you handed out cigars. Today you're handing out flags. It begs the question, were you always like this? Were you like this as a kid?
I was kind of a ham in school and everything. I guess my first real acting job kind of came at home because, you know, my father was really strict, you know what I mean? And, you know, we could hardly get let out of the house. And, you know, I had this girlfriend, you know, and which is the reason now today why I have a bad knee is because of this girlfriend when I was 13 for this girl named Annette.
I don't see how that hooks up at all.
I'm telling you, man, look. I left school, right, and I'm usually supposed to be home like by about 5:30. My school was like on the south side of Chicago, which is about an hour-and-a-half train ride to the west side. So, you know, I was all in love. You know, I was 13, so I went over to this girl's house, who was completely on the southeast side, which is like 2.5 hours from my house. So we go over there, you know, and we, you know, doing what 13-year-olds do. You know, you think you know, making love or whatever you're doing, but you know, you wasn't really nothing like that going on. Everybody had their clothes on, you know.
It involves an Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and we, you know, we kissing and smooching and all that. And I had bought her one of those little bubble watches and stuff. So I said, "What time it is?" She's like 5:30. So I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I'm still cool." So we still, you know, necking and what have you. And then the next thing I know, I asked her again what time it was, and she's like, "It's still 5:30." So I go up in the house.
Trouble.
No, I go up in the house, and it's 11 o'clock. You know, so I know I got a good old-fashioned ghetto beatdown coming, you know, when I get home. So I'm crying, you know, and there's this one bus that goes back to the train to take me to the west side that leaves at like 11 o'clock. So I get there and the bus is just pulling off. I'm coughing in the exhaust fuel, crying, "I'm gonna go whoop my ass!" You know, so I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna get home. So I get on another train and I end up going the wrong way, end up in Indiana. By now it's 12:15.
Yeah.
So I know my father's gonna kill me. So I finally, you know, went through all the trips and changes of going back downtown and get home, you know, get almost all the way home. And I'm wondering, how am I gonna avoid this butt kicking? So I get off the bus and then I fell and I started limping. I was like, yeah, that's it. I was hurt at school today, and I went to the hospital, and I couldn't call because I was in so much pain, you know, because in Chicago, the hospitals are really, you know, not the Class A hospitals if you don't pay. You know, they pretty much set instruments on the table and say, "Go ahead, work on yourself until the doctor comes."
You worked this out.
Yeah, you worked this out. So I get home, and I told my parents the story, and, you know, I'm expecting to get a left from my father, you know, and all of a sudden, my old man turned into like Bill Cosby. You know, he was all nice and competitive. "Oh, you hurt your leg, son? Oh, you hurt you on the thing. Let's go to the hospital."
He really did turn into Bill Cosby.
He went out and he took me to the hospital. So when I get there, the doctor's like, every time he touches my leg, I'm, "You're killing me!" You know, but he didn't find any breaks, so they put me in a hip-to-foot cast. And I'm laughing.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Nothing's wrong with you? And
nothing is wrong with me. They put me in this cast, and I'm laughing all the way. My parents are so stupid, you know. But, you know, when I took it off, my leg looked like, well, like this, with hair on it, you know. So I had to rehabilitate my own knee and everything. And so now I got, you know, like this arthritic condition in my knee. It was all for you, girl. For you, Annette Evans. We could have made it, baby.
What an angry story.
Yeah. That's how that happened.
Poor Annette.
That's really how that happened. Yeah.
Oh, man. Now, listen, I know we're just about out of time, but I know you wanted to mention you just worked with Jeff Goldblum on a project.
Yeah, I did. As a matter of fact, you know, I ended up, what happened while I was in New Zealand, I got offered a film called The Great White Hype, where I played this heavyweight boxer, and I had lost 25 pounds, and I was working out and all this stuff, and they offered me the film. And we went back and forth, and the studio ended up not being able to do it. They couldn't work it out. There was like, what if it's a typhoon and he has to go back to New Zealand? I mean, I could see that in L.A. if it was like a fire or earthquake or, you know, something like that could happen. But I ended up not doing the role. I did a cameo, and I worked with Jeff Goldblum, and he's the most wonderful cat, one of my favorite actors. He's got this real nervous energy. One time he was telling the director he wanted to do something again. He was like, you know, there's something going on between me and Shai, and it's great, and it's wonderful, and I like it. I like it because it's great, and well, there you have it. You know, what a guy.
A very articulate man.
Yeah, very articulate
And there
man.
you have it.
Yeah, you ask him what time it is and tell you how to build a watch, you know.
Well, Shai, it was good to see you again.
Thank you very
much for coming by. The John Larroquette Show is moving to 9 p.m. on Saturdays.
Saturdays! What?
Right here on
Summer kids can go to
NBC.
college!
We'll be right back. We'll see you in a second. Hello, folks. We're back. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, guess what? Coming up tomorrow night on this show, Andrea Martin is going to be with us. A very funny woman. Also from 2020, Hugh Downs, an inventor of the pocket fisherman and that spray-on hair stuff for your bald spot. Ron Popeil is going to be here, and we'll make him explain himself. Yeah, Ron Popeil! So watch that show. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with Our Lady Peace, so stick around.